Okay, I've hit the streaming button, so I should be streaming. Let's do the audio check, even though I tried desperately to make sure the audio was working before this. But no harm in double checking. Let's see. The one thing about this setup is it is kind of far away from where I'm standing. Far away from where I'm standing. All right, good. I can hear my own audio. All right, that's good. I should probably at least stop the stream. Okay, all right. Or at least stop the stream in the browser. All right, here we go. We're going to start cooking. All right. I wasn't sure if I should set some music. I mean, I would normally set some music, but maybe I should try and set some actual DMCA music. All right. Okay, here we go. This could be boring. This could be a very boring stream. You're basically just going to watch me cook. Hello, Thorn. Asian cooking. Now this I gotta watch. Hello, Thorn. Welcome in. How's it going? I just waved to the microphone, but the camera's right here. So, hi. Pillbilly. Welcome in. How's it going? What are we doing today? I'm going to be cooking. I need to cook like a big meal for my family anyway, and so we're going to start with cooking today. Oh, this onion might be a little bit bad. All right, well, we can figure out what I do with bad onions. But welcome in, Pillbilly. Welcome in, Hellthorn. How's it going? So first thing I like to do with onions, regardless, is cut them in half, because whether I use the whole thing or half, I end up, it's just super easy to peel the skin. But I was like, oh yeah, so guys, if you didn't know, I recently lost my job in tech, and so I was like, well, now I have a lot of time, and I have a lot of stream ideas that I wanted to do, so now's the time, because I don't know if I'll ever have like free time like this ever again, you know? So yeah, this kind of is a little bit bad. Let me just chop half. I might get another onion after this. Let's see. So I could maybe salvage part of this. I am going to be fully cooking these, so I'm not too concerned if there's some bad parts. But I like salvaging a lot of what I can get from an onion, regardless of how bad it looks. All right. Let's see. Crazy Asian says, lots of baby duties. Oh yeah, you have a lot of baby duties? How is your kid, by the way? How old is your kid, Hallowthorn, if I may ask? Should be 2 years old now? 1.5? I don't remember. Sorry. But anyway, today I'm going to be making a big batch of chili. I've also not had lunch yet, so I figure after I get the chili started, I can make lunch. Let's see. Now that 11 months. Oh, okay. She's still not asleep yet. Oh, my sympathies. Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotcha. I was there once. My kid is 4 now, and she is doing all sorts of things. And I'm like, oh man. She's starting to get into like some real trouble, potentially. She can hurt herself on the playground. That is a real concern nowadays. Oh yeah. Can you guys see? Is this better? Hold on. I'm just chopping onions first. I like to prep before I turn on anything that has heat. So. Alright, let's see here. So normally I wouldn't have to do this. I wouldn't have to, but because I had to cut off some bad onion parts. The cool thing about onions is that they are, obviously if you know about the onion layers, each layer is typically isolated from the next. So if one looks kind of diseased and dirty, but the next one looks okay, typically what I'll do is I'll just cut that part off, and then I will either rinse it or wash it. I didn't do it in this case because I just ripped off enough that I felt like it was fine, but perhaps these ones, I'll probably just rinse the outside here. As I said, I'm going to cook these so it's not too big a deal. Gibson Lands, welcome in. New room! Yeah, guys, if you didn't know, welcome to my kitchen. This is my kitchen. I usually cook here. I had trouble setting up like the cameras and my microphone in this room. So I was like, how do I do this? But anyway, welcome in. How's it going? How you doing, Bart? Alright, so this is how I typically cut onions. I will actually slice down even with the whole onion. Actually, I'll show you because I'm going to have to get another onion because I had to discard half of this. But I actually will slice it like this first. And then some people like also slice this way, but I typically just slice down and then like you just break it apart because they're in layers naturally anyway. So, and the cool thing about this is if you're transferring them, if they stick to your knife, I just shove them into a bowl. I find that it's easier sometimes than just like scooping it off of the chopping board. And don't worry, I have compost, so I'll be throwing all that into the compost. Oh, thanks for shouting out Ben. Guys, if you're not following our friend Hallowthorn, please give Hallowthorn a follow. Hallowthorn is a magician, full-time magician in Singapore. Also has an 11-month-old kid. So definitely give him a follow. Check him out when you can. I know that streaming is tough because of the dad duties and the working. So by the way, Hallowthorn is a working magician and does many gigs in real life in Singapore. So. Gibson Led says, I'm doing all right, getting ready to fix some bugs. Awesome. I did my bug fixing yesterday for my personal code, so I was like, okay. Chris M.Ye, welcome in. How's it going? This is the Nam first ever cooking stream. Here we go. So you guys get to see me cook for the first time. I was wondering how this would turn out because I know that a lot of people look at my Instagram and just see like food pictures all the time, and it's like, does he really know how to cook? Is he faking it? Is it AI food? So, all right, I'm gonna grab another onion from over here. I should be in earshot. I don't know how the microphone sounds from over here, but so if I have a bunch of onions, I kind of like squeeze them, and if any of them seem kind of like worse than the others, I try to use those ones first. Okay, let's see here. Let's chop this one. Okay, this one mostly looks okay. I'll get rid of this section. Let's see. Chris says, "Hi Bert, you do post a fair number of food pics." Yeah, that's absolutely true. AI recipes are gross. Oh yeah. Mike doesn't sound awful when you're away. Oh, okay, alright. Yeah, I tried, so I can't wear the headset obviously while I'm cooking because I'm going to get into a point where I'm walking back and forth, I have a knife, I could be dealing with heat, and I'm like, I'm not going to have something attached to me. That seems dangerous. So I set this one up. So this is my Yeti microphone over here. I used to use it for doing YouTube content, like with multiple people. But then I decided the headset was just easier for me, just like one person. And at the time it sounded better, but I don't know. I could come back to this if I could have like a situation where I can suspend it in front of my mouth. It would probably be better, but for now, this will have to do. I was just like, I don't want this to get super high tech, and I was already starting later than I wanted, because I had wanted to actually start like an hour ago, but then I got into this. So for anybody who didn't know, I lost my job. I was going down some rabbit holes of like things on LinkedIn and job lists to track down some stuff and adding to my job search spreadsheet. So. But yeah, I love food. I love cooking. I'm maybe not the best cook, but I like to experiment cooking at home. If nothing else, I can chop things. Charlie's Beats, welcome in. How's it going? Yeah, you need a wireless mic for that. Yeah, absolutely. I don't have a wireless mic, nor was I thinking about investing in one, but maybe we'll see how popular these get. Lol, giant boom. Oh, yeah, no, I don't have room for a giant boom. Let's see. So sorry. Okay, Hellthorn says, how's the job hunt? Any prospective companies yet? I mean, I applied to maybe about, since a couple weeks ago, like 24 jobs. I only heard back from like a couple, and they were like, oh, we filled the position, or like, you know, you're not qualified. So I was telling this story on stream the other day. There was this company looking for a Haskell developer. And I don't know if you know anything about Haskell, but it's like a dead programming language. And I was like, I have to apply to this just to see, because the job listing said, if you are experienced in Haskell or are interested in learning. And I'm like, I could be interested in learning. So. But yeah, so those I heard from that company and then one other company, and then everybody else is no response. And I did just apply to a couple yesterday, so. But otherwise, I'm just kind of making do, and then you know we're streaming. I'm making more YouTube content. So Hellthorn on my YouTube, I just published my first like quote unquote tutorial yesterday, but it's not public. It's like members only on my YouTube. But it's about double lifts. I mean, I don't think you need to know about double lifts. But if anybody else wants to know the secrets of magic, you can now become a channel member on my YouTube to hear about my thoughts about the double lift. Thank you for the heat map, whoever clicked. Let's see. I used to say that about myself too. At least I could be a competent prep cook. Yes, right. The most important thing is that cooking takes a lot of time, and if you could just like prep, even if you are not the main cook, you can save time by doing all the other stuff. Like, that's why there were dedicated positions to be, like, dishwasher, you know, before dishwashers became a thing. Let's see. Oh yeah, getting hired is a numbers game, really. Yep, absolutely. So right now, there's also this huge. So I'm going to be competing with the likes of like I don't know if you guys heard, but Microsoft laid off like 9,000 plus employees. So I'm basically competing with like everybody who wants a remote job that got laid off in the past like few months that hasn't found one. So like Microsoft, Google, Meta, so all of those companies. All right, that's certainly enough onions. Hang on, my compost bin's over here. Oh yeah, and then Halathorn said, then there's transitioning to full-time performance. Yes, so I went to a magician's picnic. I did mention this on one of my magic streams, but I broke the news to them, and they were like, so does this mean you're going to be doing gigs? And I'm like, I would not be opposed to doing gigs. So that could be in my future. I do want to explore this path first, though, but I was like, okay. I forgot who brought it up the other day, but it might have been somebody else in stream. But like, when you're an adult and you have to pay bills, then going, like when you have a job, you basically never have a break, right? Like when you're a kid, you have like summer vacation, you have like winter break, and so those are like times where you know you're gonna have time off. But like as an adult, you never know if you're gonna have that time or not, and so. And I'm like, I have a lot of things I want to do. Like, I want to stream more. I want to, and so I'm doing it, right? So I'm doing it, and then I want to create more videos on YouTube. I want to do all these things. I have things that I want to share with the world. So I'm like, if I don't do it now, when will I do it, right? So, see, Chris says, Jen and I often work as a team. If I'm cooking, she helps prep, and vice versa. Yep, excellent. I'm pretty much the primary cook in my house. Yeah, that's brutal. I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, that's okay. You know, as an adult, you have to commit to taking time off if you're given that. Yeah, if you have the capability and priority. So, all right. Next up, let's bring. Well, let me wipe this really quick. Okay. Let's bring this out. Let's get this started. All right, I'm just going to, let me see here. Is that a good, I guess I don't want it too close to my microphone, basically. Are the heat maps bothering anybody? I could just leave them, but I could also, I could eat them. Hold on. Delicious. All right. Okay. What am I doing? Oh, it's too hot. Okay. Let's get some in there. Do I want some more? I don't know. Just go a little bit. Is the fan on this, or the magnetron on this too loud for the mic, or is that okay? Hopefully it's okay. I turned on the extension. I turned off the extension to avoid being the one. Okay. I mean, I could turn it off. It's fine. All right, cool. Yes, this is an induction stovetop. So long story short, I have a gas oven over here, but with the recent studies of gas not being good for you, burning in your house, And I'm like, okay. So I initially got this because I wanted to learn how to properly cook on an induction stovetop. And surprisingly, it heats up like water really fast. And I just had to get used to like how to cook things like on the stovetop, like on the induction. So it does behave differently. Like you have to be more precise with your timing as far as like when to take things off, how to and like adjusting up and down. But like I don't know, it's fine. It works, and it's very good. Look, if you're gonna make pasta, like this is all you need. You do not need like a gas oven. I would say that you would need the gas oven if you're cooking things on the stovetop and you're like moving things around and stuff. So, but let's see. Halthorn says, if you ever go full-time performing, just dive right into stage magic. Close-up isn't favorable if you're like a dad. Oh, okay. Well, I plan on only doing probably close-up and parlor. It would probably be... I don't want to do stage, is basically what I'm saying. So, alright. So let's do that. I do want to open this. Okay, is that hot? Alright, that's good. Let's see. Chris, I forgot I want to get this induction wok from Costco. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, look. I would say if you don't know how to cook anything on induction, get one and then just work with it. Okay, I don't know how big this is going to splatter. I'm going to move my keyboard and mouse set up a little bit. Alright, there we go. Okay, so things, if you didn't know, you want to salt as you cook. So, salt as you cook. So you can basically see like what I chopped. Like I didn't do, it was just like a rough chop. This is perfectly fine for this. You could mince, it could be very tiny. That's probably for dishes where you want to incorporate like the onion flavor, but without, you know, maybe having onion chunks, for example. And then obviously there's the people who really love onions, love the texture of onions. You can have them just be big. You want to bite into an onion, so. For things like burgers, I like to have like raw onion right on it. But for chili, I find that a lot of other people are turned off by like an onion that's like raw, so. Let's see, nice little ASMR. Oh, excellent. Oh, parlor-esque is fine, but the close-up market seems quite saturated and lots of competition. Oh. So around here, surprisingly, I don't know if there's that much. My friend who does close-up, said he had no problem finding like a bunch of gigs around here. So maybe in the world, but in my local area, it might be okay. Just to bring in a little bit of extra money, I guess, if, you know, while I'm still on the search. Let's see. Meet magicians in your local area ads doesn't sound too good. Oh yeah, no. So I think over here there's like a demand for people for just like small parties and weddings. So I know that a lot of weddings happen around here, and I know a bunch of the magicians around here, and they're always like, "Oh yeah, there's a wedding happening, blah blah blah. I'm going to a wedding," and I'm like, "Oh, awesome." Okay, all right. Ground beef. Here we go. I used to have a black plastic one of these that was like, it was either shaped like a plus sign or like a spiral. But then I read and heard about the leaching of plastic. And I'm like, this black plastic is definitely the kind that would have that kind of stuff. Like, it wasn't silicone, it wasn't anything else. So I was like, okay. So I got rid of that, and now I'm basically back to chopping with just a metal spatula. And I know that there was some errors with that study that ended up coming out, and it was like, hey guys, we got the wrong, but honestly, like, it hadn't been peer reviewed. It was just like on like one of the preprint servers, and then people ran with it. But it's like, hey, you could be eating this much and it's so dangerous. And then they were like, oh yeah, you could have like 10 times that much and it would still be within safe limits. And I'm like, okay. So, beef looks so good. Can't beat U.S. quality. Yeah, this is U.S. beef because I live in the U.S. Big surprise. The fact that I'm cooking over here, so even when I have the induction stovetop, I will put it on my actual stove. We've kept like the child-safe things on the knob so they don't accidentally turn that on. Oh, but while this is getting started, I can actually start putting this into. I have a slow cooker over here. Hold on, I'll turn this down for a second so I can see what's going on. Hello, welcome in, Raiders. How are you doing? Hey guys, welcome in. Guys, you're not following our friend E-Room. Hi E-Room, welcome in. Thanks for bringing everybody over. So, normally I do sleight of hand card magic streams on Sundays, but I am doing a cooking stream today. I did my first productivity stream the other day. Long story short, I'm now not employed, and so I'm doing the streaming thing in the interim. But I have a lot of ideas I want to share, a lot of things I want to do, and so here we are today doing a cooking stream. Let's see, Healthorn says, I'm curious, how much do you pay for beef? Here, I get 500 grams of beef for like $15. Oh, Alright, hey Google, how many pounds is 500 grams of beef? Hey Google, repeat that. Oh, okay, so 500 grams is about a pound. Let's see, so for 15 Singapore dollars, hey Google, how much is 15 Singapore dollars in USD?
15 Singapore dollars is approximately 11 United States dollars and 71 cents.
Okay, alright. So Halathorn, I think the conversion, roughly, so to me it sounds like about 1 pound is about $11, and I can get 1 pound for probably about $7. If I buy in bulk, you can get more, so you can bring it down to probably about like $5, so 1 pound for $5. if you buy a lot and store it, but some people don't have the means to store. Some people don't have the means to buy in bulk. Some people, I don't know if your country has like a limitation as to like how much you can buy all at once, but I know that there's sometimes food restrictions like that. So the long and short of it is, it is cheaper than you, but not by too much. I guess that's also where I live. I'm sure there's other areas where it'll be a little bit different, but I think generally beef is readily available where I live, if I want it. Which I can't have all the time, so because of my medical condition. I won't die or anything. I will just have extremely painful gout in my foot. Yes, ads. Oh, sorry, Adam and the ads lol. Whoa, I go to the steakhouse and pay $30 to $40 for a decent steak. Oh, okay. Let's see. We could get a decent steak here. I think there are places that are known to have like cheaper steaks. And the thing is, they consider that steak the loss leader, hoping and knowing that people will purchase other things that will hopefully make up the cost. So, for example, alcohol or side dishes are marked up, knowing that somebody who gets the steak won't just get the steak. So you could get a steak here for as low as like $15, $16. It might be a small steak. It might not be like a nice cut of steak. But I've had like a nicer steak, $50, but that's kind of like the medium. There are like nice steaks here where you can get like that are, you know, $100, $150. It's kind of nuts how crazy nice the food could get depending on where you are and where it comes from. Okay, so let's see a little bit of pink. Oh yeah, what I was trying to do. And then we had the raid. By the way, thank you for the raid, E-Room. Let's see. DJ Mannix says 12 pounds UK, I think. All right. Cool. And the portions are atrocious. Yeah, portions are making me want to cook later. Awesome. I mean, that's the hope, right? And then there's pizza. All right, excellent. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, I have my slow cooker attached over there because I don't have an outlet or the counter space over here. So we're gonna open this, dump it in there. I might want to turn this down a little bit. I think I basically cooked this. It doesn't need to cook too much more. It's gonna sit in the slow cooker for like hours. So sorry, you won't be able to see the outcome of this unless you check my Instagram, because I'll probably put an Instagram picture up later. But so one thing I didn't know when I first started cooking and learning about can openers is that, see the way that this can opener is opening this can? So it opens it from the top and the sharp edges are on this round thing. But actually when can openers were first invented, you were actually supposed to use the can opener, and what it does, it cuts into the side. So you have this really sharp like circular container, and then this part, the top, was actually the safer part to handle because it would only, well, it would still have sharpness on this side, but it won't be like a disc of sharpness. Okay, so crushed tomatoes going in here. I'm actually going to start this on hot now. kind of just to get it started. Making sure this is okay. Alright. The one thing about this is I can keep it warm without overheating it. So, Chris and me, if you're still there, yeah, the induction stovetop, because you can control it at a nicer temperature, or like a finer temperature control, you can keep things warm without actually cooking it, because you can set it to be just a relative temperature that won't cook anything. And so I feel okay, and because it uses way less energy than like gas or electric, it feels fine to do that. Chris M. asks, I didn't even ask, what are you making? Meat sauce? Oh, I'm making chili. So I have onions and beef in here. So I have crushed tomatoes. I put that in the slow cooker. We're going to be adding beans and corn. Wait, you guys can't see that. Okay. So yeah, we'll be adding all of these. I'm actually considering maybe adding another can of beans. Now, I've gone down the route of trying to get dry beans to have the same texture, because my wife does not like the dry beans when we rehydrate them. And thus far, all of my techniques were trying to soften it. Doesn't soften it as much as these do, as already canned. So currently we're regulated to using this until I can find a solution for that. But I mean, I can eat the dry beans fine. I mean, not dry, of course, after I cook them. But... Come on. So anyway, I like this can opener because it has like a little magnet right here. So even though we're cutting this like a quote-unquote heathen, according to history, if it happens to fall in, I just touch the magnet to the top of the can and then it just comes right out. Like so. If anybody cares, hashtag not sponsored. This is a Zyllis, Z-Y-L-I-Z-Z, or S-S? I don't know. Okay. Alright, so here we've got corn. If I had an idea to use the aquafaba for something, which anybody didn't know, the aquafaba is the liquid that comes with the canned beans. A lot of people who use it can use it for like egg substitute in things like vegetarian or vegan cakes or like cookies and things like that. I don't have an idea for them right now, so we're not gonna preserve it, but that's something you could do. You could also put a little bit into your chili mix if you want. I put a little bit. It's not too much. So like here's the amount that I'm gonna put in. It's not the whole can, but. Oh yeah, that was black beans. And now these are red kidney beans. Those are going to go in. Okay, let's turn this off. Probably don't need this to be hot anymore. I'm going to end up putting it into the slow cooker in a minute. Bean juice, lol. Yep, absolutely. Chris M. says, wait, I had to step away with the baby. Are you making chili? Yes, I am making chili. That's correct. Yep. I won't be able to finish showing the chili made on stream because it's going to sit there for like 4 hours. I will probably end stream before 4 hours. If I'm still streaming in 4 hours, you guys tell me, hey, show me the chili. Alright. Actually, after I'm done with... Oh, no, because I'm going to cook on this. So I haven't made lunch yet, so I'm probably going to cook lunch. Maybe right in this pan. But, alright, so right now, I'm going to put the meat into the slow cooker. Okay, good enough. Alright. So, hang on. I've got to stir this and then see if I need to add more, like, tomato-based stuff. I do like my chili thick, but... Okay, so let's see. What I will do really quick is see if there's anything in my fridge that needs using. And then I will see if I can just add it to it, in which case I will. Here's something. This may seem gross to you, but that's okay. This is leftover ramen broth from the other day. And I'm going to basically use it and add it to the chili. At the end, people don't really notice anyway. One of the other ingredients that I actually had a lot of success with that I'm going to put in later, maybe after it warms up for like an hour, I'm going to put hummus in there. So I'm not going to put a lot. It's like 2 or 3 tablespoons, but it's enough to be like, hey, I put it in there. I'm a huge fan of not wasting food. But also now that if I don't get employment and have no income, we'll have to use everything. Alright, cool. And I'm getting all the remnants of what was the remainder in the can. Dumping that in. Yeah, so the one reason why they tell you to cook your meat separately from the chili is that they don't know or think that slow cookers can get up to heat to safely cook the meat. I found that could be the case, but also it kind of depends on where the meat sits, like in your chili. So whether it's like, you know, near the heating element or whatever. So Chris M. says, after you're done, you could do 3 hours of magic. Look, if I'm done with cooking and stuff for today, if I haven't completed, I would probably, like, if I was still streaming, I would probably, like, play a game. Let's see. Jen and I have taken to making beef stew in an Instant Pot. Super easy and doesn't take a whole day. Awesome. So I was thinking about getting an Instant Pot or, like, some other pressure cooker. But my wife doesn't like the idea of having it around with the kid. And I'm like, it's like locked. We could teach her. I mean, she's a smart kid. And then also my wife's a little bit afraid of it. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. All right, I do need a little bit more tomato, but not too much. I'm actually going to use a little bit of tomato sauce just to round it out. This is great for finishing off cans of tomato sauce. This is not quite near the end of its life, but I can use some of it. have the liquid consistency that I want. Okay, let's see. You know what? I'm not doing anything right here, right now. Let me switch to this. It'll at least make my life a little okay. Let's see. The Instant Pot is very safe, much safer than a regular pressure cooker. Oh, those things are scary AF. Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know pressure cookers, hey, welcome in, Marshall Silver. How's it going? How are you doing, Marshall Silver? I am cooking today, so there we go. But thank you for the applause. Yeah, so if you guys didn't know, pressure cookers can be very dangerous. So very hot air around you and steam transmit heat very, very quickly and can hurt you. All right, let's see. You know, while I'm here, this is probably a good time for a break. Guys, you're not following our friend Marshall Silver. Please give Marshall Silver a follow. Marshall Silver, Variety Gamer. Guys, you're not following our friend Chris M. Yee. Chris M. Yee, Variety Gamer, also is the host of the Clip M. Yee show. Let's see. E-Room rated in earlier if you're not following our friend E-Room. In real life streams, community game streams, opening Kinder eggs, also known as the Pope of Indiana. Give E-Room a follow. I think we already got a shout out for Hallowthorn, but we'll do another one. If you're not following our friend Hallowthorn, Singaporean magician, definitely give Hallowthorn a follow. Let's see. If you're not following our friend and mod Gibson Lens, please give Gibson Lens a follow. Whoops. There we go. Gibson Lens, pianist, has composed a bunch of his own music, is also released his first album a few months ago, so definitely check it out. Let's see. Who else? Guys, you're not following our friend Charlie's Beats. Please give Charlie's Beats a follow. Maybe one day Charlie will stream again. And then my apologies, I did miss first time chat from Memloss. Welcome in, Memloss. Welcome in, DJ Manix. Thanks for coming over from the E-Room raid. Appreciate it. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. So then while that's heating up, what was I doing? Oh, yes. So now the important part of a chili is the spices. So what you could do is just go and gather all of the spices. You can put in your cumin. You can put in your chili powder. You can put in your coriander. You can put in whatever else you like to put in there. I'm going to confess right now, if you're lazy or you're a parent and you don't have time or you just want to cheat, you can just buy packets of spices already. So I always have a bunch here just, you know, for speed and expediency. Alright, so one of these packets is rated for 1 pound of meat, which is what I cooked up. And it doesn't really say to mix it with much else, but we're mixing it with like multiple cans of other things. There are some things that are already flavored, such as the ramen broth I just put in there. So I'm going to be combining just 2 packets and then putting that in there and then mixing it up. I like to have one thing that's hot, and then the other one is a regular one, because then that's hot enough that I can taste it, but it's not too hot for my wife. If I put 2 hot ones, it's too hot. So we're just putting in a hot taco and an original chili. So the taco is a little bit less, but anyway. Yeah, so hot and not. And then we're just gonna dump that in there and stir it up. Also, if this is something that you want to have reproducible, I mean, if you don't want to measure out your own spices every time, then this is something you can do as well. it's like, oh, I cooked this, that, and the other thing, plus a packet of this. Like, that makes it very reproducible. Oh, am I off camera here? Okay, a little bit. It'll be fine. Okay. Yeah, FYI, don't take this as like the best cooking for anybody or everybody. This is the cooking that I've done for my family, for me and my family. So, but certainly you can take whatever tips you would like from this. Just think about it as more like an ideology or like a thought process instead of like, don't follow my recipe exactly, because you probably won't like it. Alright, I have to stir the spices in. Okay, I think it's thick enough. I don't need to add any more beans. I was considering adding a can of beans, but I think I'm good. If you're making this, you do you. Not that I think anybody's following along right now. Okay, so in the in the interest of using ingredients, we've had these bay leaves forever, and I need to use them. So every single batch of chili, my wife used to say put like 2 in there. I've put like 5 or 6 basically every batch. Honestly, some people don't think that bay leaves add any flavor. I think they do have a flavor and they impart them. Some of these might be so old that the flavor that they impart is weak, so having 5 or 6 is probably not a big deal anyway. But yeah, you're not supposed to eat bay leaves because the texture is too it's too like strong to like then chew and bite and swallow, and it's not good for your digestive system. So yeah. One thing that I will sometimes forget is how many bay leaves I put in a batch. So I started, once I put these in the chili, I will take a picture, and then I'm like, when I'm fishing them out later, I'm like, how many did I put in there? Okay, so we're going to be putting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, here's my bay leaf. Oh, wait. Here's my bay leaf picture. I can verify later. Now I'm going to shove them in there. Other things that I've put into a chili, sour cream and butter. Usually I'll add that towards the end, like a little bit before I take it out. I've heard of people adding cheese to their chili, but I feel like that's kind of like you should add it after, like when you serve it. Personal choice, I guess. Okay. All right. I have not taken a sip of anything yet. Guys, you've been sitting around for a while and you haven't hydrated. Please feel free to hydrate. Okay. All right. Okay, what do I want for lunch? I'm gonna make that now. So while we are waiting for our chili, we can do other things in the kitchen. Let's see what I have to use. Oh, you guys can't see this. There we go. Okay, so we'll use some of that, we'll use some of that. We need onions, and we want, I want to grab some, okay. Let's do that. We're just going to have these sit out to thaw, this to sit out to thaw. These, I guess I could do it frozen, but. And then I want another onion, maybe half an onion, or just a really small one. Alright, maybe go with this one. Or what bread do I have? Oh, I'm saved. I have one bun. One bun left. Okay. Glorious. Actually, I'm maybe gonna start this in the toaster oven to pre-toast it. Okay, alright. Okay, let's get into this onion. Maybe I will cut it this way. There might not be that much onion in this. Yeah, I wanted to get the chili working first because basically time spent doing something else is chili cooking time. So, if anybody's played real-time strategy games like StarCraft, I used to love playing StarCraft. And it's like anytime that you're not doing something, it's like mining time, right? Or building time. So. I miss real-time strategy games. Not that I could play them, I think, in my current state. I don't think I would have good enough reflexes or planning. Certainly don't have time to dedicate to playing to them. Or at least, I didn't. Do I now? Maybe? I probably still don't, but... Okay, I think I'll just use a half onion for this. Alright, what are we making now, guys? We're making a cheesesteak sandwich. Yes, that's right. We're going to make a cheesesteak sandwich. The Trek Nerd, welcome in. What a microscopic onion. Yeah, I used a big one earlier for the chili. This one, I wasn't gonna use the whole thing, so I found the smallest one I could get from my bag. And then, yeah. And I'm actually gonna not use this one, this half right now, so. But anyway, welcome in, The Trek Nerd. How's it going? How are you doing? Welcome to my first cooking stream ever. Alright, so let's see. I'll put this over here for now. Okay, let's bring this back out. Put it on, and that's toasted. Alright, excellent. Looking at your IG, you're quite a chef. Oh, thank you, The Trek Nerd. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, I'm a huge fan of cooking and food experimenting. I'm definitely not the best cook. I'm certainly not the most original, but I'm willing to experiment and do weird things, or like just cook food and dress it up at the end. So surprisingly, plating, I mean, it just takes a couple extra minutes, and then you can show it off on social media. So, but yeah. Cooking Daredevil! First time chat, welcome in. How's it going? Ichiro, hello from Tokyo. Hello, welcome. So right now I'm using a pan that I just used earlier to cook other stuff, and now I'm going to be cooking something else. Alright, so what I have over here is I have some peppers. So you can purchase like pre-frozen peppers or fresh peppers, and if you can't eat them right away, I actually just cut them myself and then I just put them in a bag, and then I will use them later. So we're just going to have some peppers there. I'm almost done with this bag. Do I just want to make all of it? Let's at least just get all the ice out. And then I have some mushrooms. Similar deal, I just froze fresh mushrooms. Okay, that should be enough. So I like to put the frozen things in first so that they will thaw a little bit. And mix those around just so that mushroom is still really frozen. Okay. Do that. Okay, I'm going to throw the onions in. I think once that thaws, I'm going to just pre-chop up some of the mushrooms and peppers. Okay, alright. Mushrooms are soft enough now. Okay, not all of them. Okay, while that's going, I need to separate, so I've kept this in my freezer, haven't, it tends to stick. I'm gonna get 2 slices of this. So this is also, basically beef, but they formed it into like the cheesesteak slices. So normally when I have one, I'll grab 2 of these. But if you've ever seen places make cheesesteaks, they'll have shaved steak, and they sell shaved steak at the supermarket in the frozen section. As I mentioned, I can't have too much beef, so it's an occasional thing for me. Oh, I forgot. While you're cooking, 2 salts. Probably a little late on that for this one. All right. Okay. Now let's put the meat on. So I do see that we had some residual beef juice from earlier, so that'll complement this well. Let me also increase the heat so we can get this cooked a little bit faster there. I guess not that I'm technically in a hurry, but I'm hungry. So actually, while that's going, I don't know. Okay, it's gonna get ready now. I don't have any more time. Okay, all right. And I'm gonna chop this up. Basically cooked. This one is basically cooked. Okay, let's combine everything. That probably looks decent enough. Before we add cheese. Alright. I know I already added onions, but I have this onion cheddar cheese, so we're going to use that. This one, when I bought this, there's trouble separating slices, so I've sometimes had like split slices. So I might add like 1.5 slices, because I think I have a half slice in here. Yeah, it's falling apart as I pull it out, so. Let's see. Oh no, I don't have a half slice. Or if I did, I don't know. Oh, there it is. Alright, here we go. Oh, I guess there's one slice. Still laughing about residual beef juice. Hey, so what a lot of people don't realize is that anytime you cook anything in a pan, like, there's some flavor that remains in the pan. And that's, I mean, it's residual. Like, what else, what else is it? And it is beef. I mean, I guess beef juice could be the funny thing, right? Okay, alright. Let me melt this a little bit. Okay, and then I have my bun ready on the side over here. Okay, let me see here. Move this back. Put that up there. Okay, I'm gonna get some leafy greens in there just because most sandwiches I get some leafy greens in. This is spinach. Some people prefer lettuce. I prefer spinach for leafy greens. Is that melted a little bit? Do I need to flip it? Let me try flipping. Yep, I just licked my arm because some residual beef juice just hit my arm. Okay, there's a strong possibility that this whole thing will not fit on the bun nicely, so that's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay, turned off the heat. This is a multi-grain bun. We're gonna get probably most of it. So I don't need to be neat if I'm just gonna eat it, but if I'm gonna take a picture for Instagram, I'm gonna probably make it neat now. I will end up eating all of this, but I'm probably not gonna put it on the plate right yet. Okay. Alright, okay. Alright, let's start with that. I'll use this to scoop this out for eating. Let's see here. What would look good? I don't know if anybody's a fan of sriracha. So I've been trying different srirachas lately because the original Hui Fong, there was a shortage one year, and then I found out why, and it's because there's some dispute as to like the contractual obligations of a farm and stuff. But I've been trying different srirachas, and I like this one right now. Sky Valley, it's pretty good. I actually think it has a stronger like garlic flavor. So, actually, should we do something fun with this? Sometimes I'll do fun things. Okay. There we go. Let's see, what do I want? Do I want? Get some sesame seeds on there. On the face. Okay. All right. Okay, let me start with taking a picture. Oh, the lighting here is not good. Hang on. I might have to take this off camera for a second. I'm right behind the camera, so that's okay. Still here. Haven't left. Alright, coming back. There you go. Should I just upload it right now? I don't normally upload right away, especially if there's like food, but... Alright, we'll upload right now. Let's see. There we go. Come on. My phone was not being cooperative. Cook this steak sandwich on my first ever cooking live stream on Twitch. Okay. Share. Posting. Okay. All right, it should be posted. So if you go to the Instagram now, you should be able to see this. All right. Okay, let's... I don't know if there's much else to see besides me eating it now. So, here we go. Alright guys, this was, well actually, when did I actually start cooking this? It's 2:10. I think I only spent like 20 minutes cooking this. Most of the morning, or most of earlier, was cooking the chili. Alright, so. Ooh, do I want to get like a profile pic? I see it, says Gibson Lens. Alright, let me see if I can get a profile pic. This looks pretty good from the side too. Hang on. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Alright. Looks pretty good from the side, I'd say. I don't know why I'm doing this. I could just literally show you the real sandwich. Alright. Okay, alright, here we go. Taking a bite. Really good. That might be the hunger talking, but... So now in my mind, I have the setup already. Do I need to cook anything else? So lately my kid has been liking to eat like just pasta, just plain pasta. Oh, do we have any broccoli? I can do more family cooking prep. But I'm totally eating this first. Erum says nom nom nom. So one weird thing right now. My kid does not like hot pasta. So we have leftover pasta that we make, and then we put it in the fridge, and then we take it out of the fridge and just give it to her. I'm like, come on, kid. It's probably a good time to go stir the chili, too. Still looks okay over there. I don't know if you can tell I was starving. But I didn't want to start the stream too late because then it's like my wife said, she was like, yeah, I don't want to be on stream. And I'm like, okay. The Truck Nerd asks, is the sandwich as good as it looks? I will answer yes. It's pretty good. It's not, I wouldn't say it's the best that I've made. So I think the flavor is a little bit, like I can taste the sriracha, but I can't really taste anything else. Like the cheese that I put in there, that's not very prominent. So maybe I should have used that 1.5 slices instead of 1. But yeah, I could taste more beef than usual. So I think that's a testament to the fact that we reused the pan that we cooked the beef. So we cooked ground beef in the pan earlier, and then I just cooked the shaved beef in here. So that was good. I'm not getting too much mushroom, so I might have just chopped them up too much. I can just grab this here. Okay, let's grab everything else from the pan so we have it on the plate. So for those who need to be gluten-free, you can have this mixed with things like tortilla chips, or if you have like gluten-free noodles, you can have this with. I've had it with rice. So you have like all sorts of alternatives if you like this kind of thing. I can see that if you're into like salty foods, I try not to like make foods too salty, especially because like some of these ingredients are already salty, and like I salt things during cooking. So the Truck Nerd is +1 for beef residue. Absolutely. So if you are cooking and you tend to like wash and clean the pan in between every single dish, I would say if you're not familiar with the technique of deglazing, basically deglazing is a technique where chefs will use some fat. So like what I could do right now is slap a pat of butter into this pan, and it will get all of the flavors that have stuck in and around the bottom and the sides of the pan. I didn't make the pan hot enough that we got any Maillard reaction, so oftentimes they'll do it because there's flavored, like, you know, like when you get some food charred on the barbecue. I didn't have the pan go that hot, but usually you're scraping up all of that stuff and it goes into the butter, and that's the sauce that ends up going like on top. So that's why restaurant sauces taste really good, because it's mostly fat and the residual flavor. You know, I never thought I would just be eating on stream. So I guess after this we're making pasta and broccoli. By pasta and broccoli, I mean very plain, so we can then feed it to my daughter, my 4-year-old. Actually, this will be a good thing to show if Chris and me is still around. I'll show the boiling of water within induction. But yeah, if anybody's looking to stretch their dollar, don't underestimate just putting stuff in your freezer. So like, I'll buy fresh vegetables, put them in my freezer, or like chop them up, use some, put the rest in my freezer. Because I feel really bad when I throw things away because they just go bad or they rot. And so I've become like, I'll even put bread in the freezer. So when there's a bread sale, I'll buy like a couple loaves at the sale price, shove them in the freezer, and then I just slowly bring them out or bring them down into the fridge. And it saves a few bucks, but over time, right? But kind of like I'm doing that with everything and not just bread. That's just an example. Alright, at this point I think we are done with this pan. It is warm but not too hot. The other thing about induction is that this is typically safe. If you end up just putting, so I'm not going to put my hand on this because it could be hot because the pan was hot, but if it was on and I just put my hand on it, I won't burn myself. So, alright. Okay. Let's do this. I can move this closer to the camera this time because I'm just boiling water first. Where is this pot? Okay. Alright, we're going to fill this up with just cold water. I don't know how true this is, but I believe it. So they always say always use cold water for boiling things like pasta, rice. And it's just because, from what I was told, that you don't know where the water is going through pipe-wise, and hot and warm water tend to dissolve things that you may not want in your diet. So it probably depends on where you live, the water pipes that it goes through, and things like that. But so, oh yeah, I get to show you the boil setting. So before I was just using temperature control. You can set the temperature. This is not very granular because I kind of got a cheaper one just to kind of learn how to cook on induction, but it only was controlled like every 20 degrees, so not very granular. And then boiling is just like a level of heating. So, all right. So I'm just wait. What's the max? 10. 10 is the max. All right. So let's just boil at 10. Make sure this is the top. Okay. Cool. Pasta. We're gonna make elbows, aka macaroni, and then broccoli. We can basically finish this So I have frozen broccoli. You can do the same with fresh broccoli. I'm going to steam it. This is not the way I prefer it, but it's the way that it will cook, stay in the fridge, and then my kid will eat later kind of thing. I like it in the air fryer. But that's not who we're making it for right now, so. Alright, so it's been sitting here for, I probably should have started the timer or something, but it is already starting to bubble at the very bottom, just a little bit. Some people put things like oil and salt in their water. I find that it's not really necessary because it's all going to wash off anyway. I did find that if you have really salty brine water, that it actually does affect the taste of your pasta, but I don't find that the oil does anything. So... But that's just one person's anecdote, so one data point. There you go. How long have I been streaming? Not bad. Cook 2 things in an hour and a half. That's pretty good. Made good time. The one thing that I really hate about recipes is that it just tells you the time to cook, but not the time in the kitchen, because you could do some of the prep before. There's going to be cleanup after, and like it never tells you like if you have to, clean up the dishes or pots and pans and stuff. And so, yeah. Alright, so the water is effectively boiling right now. I don't know if, let me see. I don't want to risk moving this while it's super hot, but I hope that this camera can pick it up right here. I do end up turning this down because if I keep it hot and I just pour the pasta in and I forget to stir, it will stick to the bottom. I don't want it to stick. Let's use this. Pasta down. I saved it. It's okay. We're good. I'm not sure how much I should. Alright. I think that'll be good. My kid doesn't quite eat as much as an adult yet, which is probably good. Oh yeah, so I did mention the whole like plastic utensils and like cooking things earlier, and you can see that I'm using a silicone spatula. So silicone is stable and doesn't leach anything. So even if you do, but I mean obviously it's still kind of a plastic, right? So it doesn't solve the microplastic issue, but it solves like the toxic thing. Alright, now I'm gonna place, I might just dump this whole bag in there. Yep, that's it. So we're going to cook pasta, steam. So having something like this, you can do 2 things at once. It kind of helps because I only have 1 induction, and if I want to use 1 induction, this is perfect. Also saves time on a stovetop instead of using multiple stovetops. Chris says, are we on to lunch? I have completed lunch, like cooking it and eating it. We had a steak sandwich. I even posted to Instagram, so. And then I just heard an electrical thing. Is it this? I hope it's not my main power grid. Chris MV says, oh wow, that was fast. Yeah, if you want to see what I ate, you could either go to the Instagram or just But now we're cooking things for food for my daughter later. So we're just heating up pasta and broccoli. I explain why I'm steaming the broccoli and not like cooking it my preferred way, because that's the way it will keep in the fridge and she'll eat it and that kind of thing. I would prefer having my broccoli, if it's not like cooked in fried rice, then air fried. So, but you do have to be careful, because sometimes if you air fry broccoli, it will be too dry, and so it's just a matter of like if you oil it or just like dip it in water before. So it kind of depends. Yep, went to IG. Awesome. Yep, there it was. I don't normally post it right away. I usually wait until after I'm done like cooking and eating and like cleaning up. But so one thing I do have to worry about with this particular pot is that, as I said, I don't want it to stick to the bottom, and so I'm just gonna move all the pasta. Yep, I could feel. Oh, I could feel some sticking already. Let me turn that down just for a second. Full disclosure, don't do what I'm doing. They say as soon as you spill some hot water or something, turn this off, remove it, no boil overs kind of thing. This was partially self-inflicted, but I think just as long as it doesn't get into the wiring or the electronics, it's probably fine. I don't want to say I'm a professional cook, but I'm a professional when it comes to being careful, as I spill all over again a second time. Shh, don't tell anybody this happened. Shh. I mean, I know that there's recorded evidence of this, but... It's okay. Plausible deniability. Plausible deniability. Alright. Air fried broccoli is good. Yeah, that's right. You know where it's at, Chris M.E. Okay, so it is... I'm going to turn to temperature because it's bubbling over too much, so... Alright, I think we're out of the danger zone as far as things sticking. Yeah, you'll have to excuse me. I never cook over here. I always cook over there. So, Chris W says, "Hi, using the boiling pasta as a double boiler is an interesting tip." Oh, you've never done this before? This is why they make these, so that you can cook pasta or something down below. I'll sometimes make ramen down here and then steamed vegetables up here. So that's, yeah. I mean, if you haven't done it, I mean, give it a try. Another thing is that if you have something that, like, as it warms up, it has juices, it will sink into your dish. So, like, it's certainly a good reason to give it a try, if nothing else. Obviously, don't do what I do as far as, like, you know, making it, yeah, alright. So we are now good. I'm gonna up the temperature again. I'm almost done with my coffee, and I'm gonna switch over to tea in a second. I can show you guys some teas that I got. You know what? I should let chat choose. What should I have? Alright guys, I have green tea and black tea. That's what I'm in the mood for right now. So one of those. But let me know if anybody wants to vote in the poll. Go ahead. I'll fully accept. Because so I do have other teas such as herbal teas. But I don't want to have an herbal tea right now, so that's why I didn't make it a choice. Oh, we got one for black. Excellent. I have some good black tea choices. We've got two. Okay, it looks like we're leaning towards black. Let me grab some black tea. And if it changes in a second, I mean, I won't be upset. That's okay. Okay, at this point, this is just a boiling pot. So I'm going to slide this very carefully back a little bit. All right. So, all right, we have. So this is just a black. It's like I buy this in bulk. It's basically like a black English tea from India, or at least it's sold in an Indian food store, but I imagine it's either English or Indian. This is Earl Grey. This one is a sampler I got from something recently, which is a floral Earl Grey. And then this one is another sampler, a Royal Breakfast. So, if anybody wants to see any of those get brewed, let me know. I will brew it. I know if anybody's a Star Trek fan, they would probably say either of the Earl Grey. So I mean, we could probably just do that. Let's see here. You know what? This is my newest one. I haven't even had this that much. So let's have some of this. So this is called Victorian Earl Grey. I got this. So I was experimenting with getting things from tea, because I can't find much loose leaf tea where I am anymore, so I kind of finally broke down and I bought some from the internet. And so there was this company called Tiesta Teas that was advertising. This was directly advertised to me on Facebook, so I'm like, all right, I'll try it. And then I actually found some other sites that I might try next, but I was like, okay, let's try this. So let's see here. I'll basically put some of this in here. Depends on how strong you like your brew or how long you like your tea to last. So I have this infuser. I filled it up to about like here. Some people like, you know, really strong brews. They'll fill it up all the way up. Now I'm gonna get water over here. Grab all these, put them back. So one thing I learned about teas a long time ago when I first started drinking tea, they want you to brew it for a certain amount of time and with a specific temperature of water. And the temperature of water happens to be most of the time for most like common teas that you'll find, like unless you got something really fancy, in which case you would probably be more knowledgeable than me about tea at this point. But it's like somewhere between 170 and 190 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's usually what your Keurig pops water out anyway. So I basically just dispense with it because I'm pretty sure none of the teas I get are super special. Like if it's a mass-produced tea, it's probably nothing that you need to temperature control for. Alright, I have brewed my tea. It is now brewing. So I think the recommendation for teas, anywhere between like 2 minutes to 5 minutes. I am usually like a forever tea steeper, but today we can do it legit. Hey Google, set a 4-minute timer.
Got it. 4 minutes. And that's starting now.
Yeah, so when they had assistants at home that you could voice control, I was like, I need that for my kitchen, right? Because like my hands could be dirty, I could be holding something, I need to ask it something, so. Okay. I'm just gonna double check no sticking, but I think we were past that point, but just to double check. Yeah, we're okay. The one thing that is different with this is that so I'm using a small vessel for doing the pasta, so the likelihood of boiling over is pretty high, so I turn the temperature down, but when you turn the temperature down, because it was like hard dry pasta, it will take longer to get it to soften, even to al dente. So that's the drawback. I could just simply use a larger vessel, and then this wouldn't be an issue, but then I don't have a steamer for a larger vessel, so that is that's the other drawback. But I'm not making like a big batch. This is just for my kid, and we're gonna store the leftovers for her to eat tomorrow and the day after. So okay. At this point, I would typically just start cleaning up. I suppose I could start cleaning up a little bit. So we recycle, and I have this inane thing where I like to make things as recyclable as possible, even though I'm sure it doesn't really matter ultimately. But I'll take all the paper labels off of my metal cans and things. I'll make sure that I rinse all the food out of things, because I know that food can mess up recycling systems and stuff. So here we go. Cleanly taken off label, metal can. Anyway, if anybody has any questions, this is the first time I'm doing cooking streams, so I know you guys have been firing off some questions, but feel free to fire off some questions if anybody has any. I've kind of been sharing what I wanted to share anyway, just randomly. Stop. Alright, tea is ready. Let's go ahead and do this properly. Alright, taking this out of the water. And then we have our tea. Oh, I see some. Don't burn yourself. Don't do this at home. Still hot water. Okay. Okay, so this particular tea, it has a floral note. Oh crap. Oh good, I didn't spill. That was amazing. Oh, I did spill liquid, but none of the solids came out. Okay, it has a floral note. It almost seems a little bit like a citrus, like... It's like an orange, maybe just on the nose. That's gonna bother me. Okay. This might still be too hot for my tongue. But oh, and if anybody doesn't have a thermometer, I found this to be invaluable when you're experimenting with new cooking methods. So, you know, like between cooking on the stovetop that was gas and like induction, I was able to just check and check everything. Same thing when I got an air fryer for the first time. Just having this was super nifty. All right, let's see how hot the water is. Okay, so the water... Hold on, let me see if we can lock it. It's like 140... Oh, I can't lock it for some reason. Alright, here we go. Alright, I think that's probably still too hot for me. 146, 8... E-Room's got the tea emotes from Infozar. Okay, I just stuck my tongue in. Oh, actually, I talked about this once on stream and how I test water. I basically just stick my tongue into the cup like a cat. Okay, just took really tiny sips off the top. And it definitely tastes and feels like an Earl Grey. Like it has like the tannic smell and taste. But it also has like this floral initial hit, like with the nose, when you taste it. It's almost like a light orange, it feels like. Yeah. So anyway, it's pretty good. I like it. Okay, so one thing that I never, I always check my pasta to see if it's okay before I stop cooking. Especially because if it is not the right texture, your child may not eat it, kind of thing. So, let me get one. So this is going to be hot right now, but I'm going to rinse it under cold water. Just okay. The problem is I lost it because this has holes bigger than I'm used to. So I have to grab another one. All right. Okay, this time I'm trying not to lose it. Okay, I'm going to run it under cold water. That gets the temperature to an acceptable temperature so you don't burn yourself. Alright. Still a little too al dente for my kid. This would probably be perfect for like an al dente pasta for any other dish. But I'm just going to let it soften up a little bit longer for her. Check on the broccoli. Oh, it's probably slightly overdone. Best check is just stab the thickest, biggest piece of broccoli. Yep. And then I need to... Alright, here we go. Wait. So I'm not dripping everywhere in a second. There we go. Okay. Okay, broccoli is done. Now, if you were making this for yourself or adults or kids that aren't picky, I would just toss this into a bowl, maybe some butter or oil, and then I would throw in a bunch of spices. So if you like, I like black pepper, I like red pepper flakes, and that's what I would do right now if you wanted to have like steamed broccoli. Okay, so now we're done with this. So now I'm just waiting for pasta. And we are over. We're gonna overflow, but I'll just open the top now. Okay, has the chili been cooking for an hour? I'd say about yes. Let me go stir it again really quick. Alright, I think it's about time. I'm going to add my quote-unquote special ingredient. Not special, secret ingredient. The ingredient that probably nobody else will add to their chili. I'm going to grab some hummus and stick it in there. So here we go. Let's take a look at how this hummus tastes. Very good. It is a cilantro jalapeno flavored. So it does have a flavor. So be a little bit more cautious with how much we put in. Why am I bringing the top one? Alright, so I'm going to say, I put 2 tablespoons into that huge thing. I don't think it'll make a huge difference, but it surprisingly makes a little bit of a difference. Alright, here's our broccoli. Alright, let me get a good swig of the tea now. Oh yes, alright, that's really good. I have had it before, but it's like, this is my 3rd cup of that ever, because I just got them in those samplers. Oh yeah, I'm gonna stir. Oh yeah, I just put it on the top. I need to stir it in. Sorry guys, hang on. Oh crap, I forgot. I needed to, so I accidentally forgot that I had some leftover onion powder from the other day. I could use a little bit of this in the chili. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump what I can in there. Alright, the chili is just starting to get hot enough that it's basically cooking. Oh, this is probably more than done. Yeah, I think we're probably good. Let's turn this off. We'll do a double check right now, but I think we'll probably be okay. Alright, let's not lose the pasta. Alright, perfect for my kid. Which means overcooked to most other people. Alright, let's extract. Downfall. Where the magic at? I didn't hear you what you said. I got an ad. Oh. Sorry, we'll wait for the ad to be over and then we'll come back. Let me know when you're... Hold on. You know when you're back from an ad. Okay. Yeah, I recently changed up my ad settings because, as I said, I am no longer employed, so I just wanted to see what was possible with my possibility of bringing income in from other sources. So. Is there a widget for me to see if there's an ad going? I know there is, I just don't know where it is. Alright, I'll have to look at that later. Because I think, yeah, it would be good to know when an ad is going. Alright, if I was making soup or something that needs to thicken, I could use this pasta water. This is actually really thick pasta water because I use less water for a pasta. But anyway, hopefully T Downfall is back, but so where the magic at? The magic is at Sunday still. I imagine if I'm playing games or something on near my usual magic setup, I could do it, but not today because this is not my usual magic setup. Yes, there's a way to see if an ad is running. Yes, I want to figure out what that way is so I can have it be visibly ready for me. Alright, so I lost one macaroni because of that one little snafu earlier. Alright, so that's done. Alright, food for my kid. Elbows and broccoli. And then she also likes cheese. So she's been having shredded cheese from a bag for like ever. And now she just tried a cheese stick for the first time like a few days ago. And we tried to get her to taste one last year. and she wouldn't eat it last year. And then just a few days ago, she was like, I'll try it. And then she liked it. And I'm like, just try stuff more often. Okay. So, I've added my hummus to my chili. Stirred it around. That will still continue probably for at least another 4 hours. Well, 3 to 4 hours. I mean, it's very, very loose. You can let it sit, let all the flavors mingle for as long as you need to. I usually let it go for somewhere between 4 and 8 hours. So, but I don't think I have anything else that I need to make, unless I stall for like an hour, and then I could make like an early dinner for 4. I don't know if you guys want to watch me clean up, but that's probably what I'm thinking about doing. And then what could we do? What could we do? Hold on. I do have some leftover stuff I could make. I guess in the interim, would it be worthwhile to just try and figure out this ad thing? Alright, let me see. Oh, so anyway, where the magic is at, if anybody wants to see magic, my YouTube channel, I have over 300 magic tricks posted to my YouTube channel. I recently started making members-only content for primarily magicians. I posted my first video yesterday that was members only, and I talked about what I think about the double lifts, and I teach a couple of double lifts. And if that doesn't mean much, that's okay. You don't have to know. Especially if you're not a magician. You don't have to know. Okay. Members only. Did you wear a jacket? No, I did not wear... You know, I think I might have been wearing this very shirt, this t-shirt that I'm wearing underneath. Oh, hold on. Let me just double check. Oh, no. I did it on my computer downstairs. I don't have the stuff. Wait. I should be able to access my YouTube video from here. Hold on. Oh, you can barely see my shirt anyway. I think I'm wearing this exact t-shirt in the video. So no jacket. But if you were interested in learning the secrets of magic, I understand that it's a hard sell for right now because there's only like one members only video, but actually I made all of my old magic blogs where I reflect on creating magic with board game and card game stuff. I made all of those members only. But oh yes, you're probably wondering about this apron. So this apron, is this from, so I got it from a loot box when Loot Crate was a thing. Because my wife got me a subscription for it I think we kept it for like 2 years, and this came in it, and I was like, oh, I could use an apron. I could wear this. And then this is the only apron I ever wear. So I don't know what, is this from the show, is it from Breaking Bad? Is that it? I think it says, Los Pollos Hermanos. The Chicken Brothers is, I think, what it translates to. Okay, I will have to play into one Asian stereotype here. I do use my dishwasher as a drying rack, and I mostly hand wash everything. So, there it is. So let me empty my dishwasher. Gibson Len says, fictional fast food restaurant chain featured in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Oh, it was also in Better Call Saul? I did not know it was from both of those. I didn't even know they were from the same world or lore. But okay, yeah, I had a feeling this was from Breaking Bad. Because I think that's what I remember. I've never seen Breaking Bad, by the way. But, Yeah. Oh yes, when you have a kid that drinks out of different containers, your kid's drinking vessels will have so many different parts to put together. You don't even know. Even their lunch boxes, you know, it's. Oh yeah, at this point, I don't think there's any more cooking here. At least not yet. Maybe if we stall for an hour and I get hungry. Honestly, I'm not sure what else. Hold on, let me check my phone. See if there's anything pressing, maybe career-wise. But I would only probably stop if I had like some meeting with a recruiter or something. Okay. Alright, I don't see anything pressing, so. Alright, this is a kid's lunchbox. Here we go. Putting kid's lunchbox together. You know what I forgot? I forgot to come up with a question of the day. Question of the day. What do you guys like to cook at home? That's a good one. We'll do that. I'm also trying to remember to add this to my Discord too. What's the date today? 09, so 25, 07, 09. Okay, there we go. Let's pin that. Okay, let me see here. You know what? At this point there's not going to be any noises, not many noises. I'm going to put on some music. I don't think I'm going to be posting my cooking. Well, I don't know, I might. Oh yeah, but the cooking's over. I'm just cleaning up now. So I could just cut the video. So let's play something. You know what? I have it on good authority that I can play this. Let me find the album this is from. Boom. Go to album. Here we go. Alright. Oh, and I want to stream it to my kitchen speaker. Okay, there we go. E-Room says hog backbone and fish muddle. Okay. I'm not sure what fish muddle is. What's fish muddle? Fish muddle is North Carolina stew made with fresh seafood over grits or rice. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, and then hog backbone, I assume, is just like pork ribs, pork bone. Let's see. Gibson Lens just says, "I'm too lazy. I just cook fried rice." I mean, that's perfectly fine. Do you have anything with the fried rice, or is it just plain fried rice? E-Room says, maybe some possum innards to go with it. Oh, okay. Gotcha. We occasionally see possum on the road here. I don't scoop it up from the road, but yeah, one thing that I like to do with my fried rice is if I'm just having quote-unquote plain fried rice, I have these vegetables that I'll just throw into any just rice dish, so it's never just rice. It's rice, peas, and carrots. And then whether I fry it or whatever else, it's so that I know I'm getting additional vegetables. I'm also assuming that Gibson Lens doesn't want to have possum innards with anything. All right, time to make a second cup of tea. Oh wait, I'm trying to show this camera and it's off. So the tea is gone. We're gonna make another. I'm gonna reuse the leaves. Yeah, vegetables or leftovers, maybe eggs. Ah, okay, excellent. Yeah, let's see. For my fried rice, I like chunks of onion, the peas and carrots, egg, of course soy sauce, and then if I have like meat, I've had it with like bacon, I've had it with like chopped hot dogs, just to use up hot dogs. Had it with just beef slices, I've had it with chicken, so yeah. All sorts of things you can do with fried rice. Okay, this is now empty. I could do dishes. Quick question, is the music audible? Or is it a little quiet? I guess if it's really quiet, it's probably okay. I can hear it fine, but if you can't tell, this is Chrono Cross Piano, and it is the one that Rob Kovacs is on. It's by the VGM pianists. So it's quiet. All right, cool. Hey Google, volume up. Okay, should hopefully be a little bit louder. But I guess the microphone's maybe not in a good place for it. But anyway, okay. Let me clear. So I had to dig up my old Yeti microphone. It was downstairs in its box still. I mean, I've taken it out of the box, but like, I was like, oh. So I never always liked, so I'm sure you could probably tell, like this room is a little echoey, and that echoing is coming through on the mic. I'm pretty sure you can hear that, because I did like a recording test right before this, so. I'm sure it doesn't help because I'm trying to project so that the microphone picks it up. I don't want to like be too quiet and then you can't hear me, but it's either echo or you can't hear me. Echo or you can't hear me. I'm trying to do these as quickly as I can. I mean, not like, I'm not going to speed run doing dishes. I'm just going to do them safely, but, you know, expediently. I was going through some old, like, childhood schoolwork. And I found something that maybe newer schools won't have is home economics notes. Yes, I took notes during home economics because we were required to have a notebook and it had recipes in it. But one of the things in it that made me think about, like, now, because I still kind of do dishes by hand, is that where do knives fall? Do you do the knives first or last? Because I think the idea is you want to avoid cutting yourself. And in my notes, it said last, but I was thinking maybe you should do knives first. Because I don't know about you, but if you're doing a bunch of dishes by hand, mentally I drone out like later, and so doing knives earlier I'll have more attention so that I don't cut myself. I have a new dishwasher, so I trust it to wash dishes. Yes, so my dishwasher, I don't know when it was installed in the house, but the house is like from the 60s. And then I think this might have been installed, I don't know, 80s? Actually, wait, hold on. But yeah, if I trusted my dishwasher to actually wash dishes, then I could do it. But right now, I almost trust it to be a dish sanitizer. Let me see. It's a General Electric with buttons, so it's not like a touch screen or anything, and lights for everything. So, hold on. Now I'm curious. I'm gonna have to try to look this up. General Electric dishwasher. Oh man, all of the new General Electrics are... Okay, hold on. Old? I have no idea what model number it is. I have no idea... Okay, it might be new-ish because it doesn't have a dial. Let me see. No. Alright, we're just gonna take a picture and just show chat. Okay, there we go. Alright, this is my dishwasher. The lights coming in on it, super weird. But anyway, yeah, there's no dials up at the top, there's buttons and lights. And that's it. It's a General Electric. I don't see any model numbers or names or anything. So it's gonna be kind of difficult to identify. But anyway, whatever. I'll have you know that I'm pretty sure it's not smart. There's no way that it can know or sense anything. It just sprays the water. Like, that's... If anybody doesn't know, Guardia Millennial Pair, that's this song. One of my favorite songs from Chrono Trigger game series. The other thing about doing dishes by hand is that I will sometimes let the water run, obviously, into the drain, but when you get a clog, you're running lots of water down the drain anyway. So it helps keep things, if you sometimes get food down there, if you have like a food disposal unit or something. We don't have a food disposal unit, but we sometimes accidentally get some food down in the drain, so running the water helps clear all of that. And sometimes it's wasteful. Okay, maybe most of the time. But when you have a pool, there's a lot more water waste because you have a pool. The famous Jerroke arrangement. Yeah, this one sounds different than the original, so. Wait, we're talking about the last one, right? Or no? Plaintiff Death. Yeah, this one, right? Oh, the Millennial Fair is Jerroke's arrangement. Oh, okay. Thank you for that clarification. Okay, alright, let's... dancing hound at Chili's coming along. Love a dishwashing stream. I mean, you know, this is the reality of cooking, right? I did mention earlier that recipes always have like an amount of time to cook the food, but it's really just like how much time to get like the food on the table, but it never involves like the cleanup time, right? And so I was actually thinking, well, if I continue cooking later, it's probably, you know, I might get hungry in like a half an hour from now. So if I stall for time, I might cook something else, basically. But I'm not hungry right now, but maybe in a half an hour from now, we could make something small. But yeah, so I was like, all right, let me, I mean, obviously if you chat, I've been glancing over and I'll try and address chat, but like, if nobody's saying anything, I can just do dishes. And until then, I've already done this Asian stereotype. I use my dishwasher as a drying rack, an overglorified drying rack. So we've already been there. Oh crap! My tea has been sitting over here. It has steeped forever, so we can have our second cup. Same leaves because I didn't steep it forever the first time. One thing about loose leaf tea is that I've noticed that when I remove the infuser, there might be like particulates like just floating. If you just wait like 20 seconds, they sink. Eroom says, I'm off to go feed my bar cats. Thanks, Nam in chat. I'll see everyone later. Well, thank you so much, Eroom, for raiding in. Greatly appreciate it. Guys, you know, following Eroom, please give Eroom a follow. But good to see you, Eroom. Have a glorious day. We'll talk to you later. So anyway, yeah, stalling for time basically to see if I'm hungry and we'll cook something else. I have a hard stop probably like at 5 p.m. because wife says she doesn't want to be on stream and that's usually what time she would come home. So I must end before then. But until then, I could keep on streaming if I wanted. Thanks for the lurk, E-Room. Let me see here. Oh look, my cell phone bill is due. All right, it's on auto pay, so I don't have to worry about it. Let's see, people responding to. So my food stuff on my Instagram and on my Facebook is some of like the most engaging stuff. So I'm like, maybe I should have cooking streams. I think people like this kind of thing, right? I've watched some cooking streams. I don't normally see people wash dishes though, so that's... They have a dishwasher. Well, so do I. I am my own dishwasher. I have a pool boy too. I'm the pool boy. Alright, I'm almost done with the dishes, so just give me like a couple minutes. I think I might be able to basically finish everything. Hopefully you're enjoying the Chrono Cross Chrono Trigger music, piano music. One of the worst things to wash for like kids things are straws. because you have to like get an entirely separate tool out to then like clean out the inside of the straw. It's super annoying. And certainly dishwashers probably wouldn't be able to get in there thoroughly. Okay, one more dish and then we'll be done, all done. All right, all done. All right. Okay. Whew. I'm actually a little tired. Alright, I think I'm probably gonna end stream soon, so mostly to chill, mostly to prep before the family gets home, and then yeah, I might want to see what else I'm going to do for my YouTube channel and for my next stream. So it's been really interesting the last couple of days. Hey Google, volume down. Because being in this weird situation of unemployment, and now I'm streaming. This is like the first time I'm streaming cooking. Then like I streamed productivity for the first time the other day. Which I think I'm probably going to end up doing productivity again, definitely, because I was able to get stuff done. So it kept me motivated, so that's good. And then, let's see here. I'm still definitely going to be doing magic. I was actually thinking about trying to do magic another day as well. So we'll see how that goes, or we'll see what I can figure out. Unfortunately, tomorrow I kind of have like a busy day in the middle of the day to do some stuff. I'm actually, I think, meeting with a recruiter and then talking about like my old retirement accounts with somebody else and that kind of stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But otherwise, I was thinking if I was able to stream during the day on Thursday, I could raid Infozar, because Infozar has a daytime magic stream during the afternoon. So I could either stream before and then raid in, or maybe if I start after, then maybe there's a chance Infozar might raid me. Certainly not all the time, but occasionally. But anyway. Yeah, so that's my thought process. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm going to check out the VOD and see how the audio was throughout the entire stream. But yeah, this is my first time using this. I don't know if I'd be able to use this at night, because if I was speaking this loudly, even in my basement at night, I think my family said they could hear me in the bedrooms. So I'll probably still have to use the headset for that, but... Anyway, all right, and with that, I'm also getting tired on my feet. Normally I have places to sit down, or I'll sit in between just while waiting, but all right. Let's see who's streaming. I never get to raid anybody like during the day, so just having the opportunity to raid people is kind of cool. Yo, okay, I see somebody else that is streaming food. Hold on, let me see what they're doing. Oh yeah, Kevin Y. Wong is also going. Let me see here. Where are we going? Okay, alright, so I think I've decided, because this other person is streaming food, and I was able to meet him at TwitchCon in 2023 in Vegas, and it looks like they're cooking right now, so... but it is Eat at Dad's. Looks like they've been going for 3.5 hours, but it looks like he's in the middle of stuff, so he's probably not leaving anytime soon. So let's go ahead and go over there. So let me see. We're going to be raiding Eat at Dad's. Let's start the raid. And then we can do the standard raid call, because I know that he's seen me do some magic. So here's the raid call. Here's a sub raid call if anybody wants to come along on the raid. let me thank. Oh, I almost forgot. Guys, let's give some mod love to Gibson Lens. If you're not following our friend and mod Gibson Lens, thanks for helping out today. And thanks for just being there, Bert. Appreciate it. So, all right. We're going to head over to eat at Dad's. All right, everybody. Take care. Remember to hydrate. Remember to stretch. And remember to get good sleep. And we'll see you around. Bye.